morning, John Walker from Roatan TV, and this morning I'm doing a very short video on coffee I purchased in Honduras, Roatan Honduras, on a cruise. So I want you to go with me as I try this coffee and see how good it is. This is whole bean coffee, so once I open the bag, I plan to use it within 1 or 2 weeks. As many of you know, I use the Aero Press for my coffee making, so this will also be using the Aero Press to make the coffee. And next video, after you see the coffee, you'll see how does the coffee taste. So come along for the coffee journey in Honduras, Roatan, Honduras. I purchased this coffee while we were on a cruise in Roatan, Honduras. So I'm going to try this coffee, give it a spin, and see how it is. I also purchased the cup. I haven't unboxed the cup or the coffee. I just used the remaining coffee I had from Puerto Rico. So now this is the coffee I'm going to use from Honduras. Actually, the coffee I just used was from Dunkin'. So let's try the Honduran coffee. Now, another item I purchased off of Costco. This is a burr grinder. So the grind is set for 12. That's what they recommend for the Aero Press, 12 or 11 or 13, around that area. Aero Press is a finer grind than a French press. So I bought this, it's self-charging, and I'm going to use this to grind the beans. I just wanted to show you the coffee, and the bag is sealed very good. It has a tight seal here, and it says to pull here. Let me bring it close so you can see it. That's how the coffee is. Now let me pull it back, and you pull this, and it opens. So there's the coffee. Now I'm going to open it up and see what it smells like. So let me open it up. It has a roasted flavor. I wouldn't call it a totally fresh flavor, but more roasted. Let me show you some of the beans in my hand if you can see them. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, there you go. There are some of the coffee beans in my hand. I'll put a few more in so you can get a little better view. There's the coffee beans. I just wanted you to see the beans. To me, the beans, they're not oily beans at all. If anything, they're a tad on the dry side, which the beans I usually buy from Costco are oily, and these are dry. So let's just see how these beans work, and we'll be back with the coffee in a few minutes. Okay, the coffee has been ground. The water is heating in the microwave. I'll show you my Aero Press. Pull it back. That's the microwave. It's finished. And you might notice I'm using the Aero Press in the inverted method. The inverted method is not the method that the creator or the designer of the Aero Press, but it was a method that makes a richer blend of coffee, where essentially you turn the Aero Press upside down. So I use the Aero Press, and I make a full 8 ounces of coffee. That's how much water. So we're going to try this without any of the additives I add to my coffee. So we're going to leave those out and just make a straight cup of coffee using the Aero Press in the inverted method. Now here's what it looks like with the cap on. I will reuse this cap, or not the cap, I reused the filter. And it's the beginning of the month, so the filter's fairly new. I just put the filter in a day or two, but I will rinse the filter out, the paper filter, and reuse it until the coffee gets slow going through it. But I don't throw the filter away after every grind. I save the filter, rinse it off. I do say the coffee grinds. Well, there's my 90-second timer. Okay, normally I put some stevia and half in my coffee, but for your sake, really just for the sake of this video, I'm going to first taste it black, just pure black, so I can get a sense of what the coffee really tastes like. So let's taste it. like I said, the espresso makes a rich tasting coffee. But I would say the coffee is not as rich tasting as the Colombian coffee I get from Costco. That's the Costco Supreme Colombian coffee that has the Jaguar on the bag. But it's a good cup of coffee, so now let me add my stevia or Splenda and some half and half. Okay, now the coffee's done. It's in the cup. I'm using the cup from Honduras. And I don't know if you can see the steam coming out, maybe a little bit, but I certainly can. One thing I will do with a cup of coffee, I will heat the coffee 20 seconds to 25 seconds in the microwave to get the temperature I want when I add half and half. One of the biggest complaints I see on YouTube about coffee and coffee makers, it don't taste the same, people say, as when I go to somewhere, sometimes as simple as a gas station. And one reason is often the coffee's hotter at the gas station because they're using a paper cup. When you use a cup like this, the first thing this cup is going to do, even at room temperature, it's going to start taking the heat out of your coffee. That porcelain or that ceramic, whatever your coffee cup's made out, is going to absorb the heat from your coffee. So one of the things I do, I heat my coffee about 20 to 25 seconds in the microwave, so I have a nice hot cup of coffee. Okay, here we go, we're done. I added the half and half. And another reason why I heat the coffee, as soon as you add a cold liquid like half and half, it's gonna bring the temperature of your coffee down. If you want a nice piping hot coffee, you already started with a cooler cup. Now you're adding half and half or cream or milk, and it's gonna be cooler. So let's give it a try, and I'll tell you what I think. So here it is. Here's the amount of half and half. You can look at the color to tell. It's usually just a guess. I pour it once, twice, and that's it. So let's taste it. It's a nice, really smooth, light flavor. I would compare it more to a lighter roast, even though it's a medium roast. It's more like a morning coffee. I prefer a slightly stronger medium roast, and that's what I typically get from Costco, their Colombian Supreme. I don't like a dark roast. I really don't like a light roast, but it tastes more on the light roast flavor. Understand that even though it's a medium roast coffee, it all depends on the roaster, how much they roast it. And so I would say this coffee is closer to the light roast. But it's still a good cup of coffee. It's something that will remind me of our vacation we had or our cruise. Let me get this prop right. It reminded me of our cruise there in Honduras. We enjoyed our time there, and I'll come back and give you one last shot of the video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and enjoy my coffee and cooking videos and also the travel videos. Thank you for watching. John Walker, Lacat TV. And the bonus coming up just with the bag again.